Hello, this is Mr. McMurray, and we are here for the organic macromolecules. All right. This one will take you through some different tests that are used to find if certain ones are present. Some of them are very definite tests, others are a little difficult, especially for people like me who are slightly colorblind. So be patient, and I try to give you a couple choices so in case you miss one, you can resubmit that. All right. So, real quickly, um, there are 4 different chemical tests. They're called. There are Benedict's, Biuret, IKI, which is really iodine dash potassium iodide. All right, and there's Sudan 4 or IV, but IV is Roman numeral, so it's Sudan 4 test. Okay, and they are done for different micronutrients. Okay, in this experiment, we are going to test water, which should not have any micronutrients in it. We should sucrose, which is table sugar, glucose, which is the sugar that are produced by plants and one of the major energy sources in the world, and starch, all right, proteins, and finally a lipid or oil sample. All right. So the first thing we want to do is to do each of these tests. All right. And so you'll try them on each of these different ones. You can pick over here which ones you want to run it on. Um, I mean, if you do the Benedict's, and then it will run the Benedict's solution test on all of them, okay? And you will see what the results are. So for water, you would say, okay, what color was it after that test, okay? The Biuret solution, what color was it after the test? And the iodine, potassium iodide, and the Sudan 4. And you would do that for each of the solutions. So I would actually, if you did the Benedict's test, then you could do, boom, what color did it turn? What color did it turn? What color did it turn? It's going to be the same 2 colors. Those are your 2 choices. All right. They have already filled in some that are hard to tell if they color change or not. So they've just given you that just to, or if they're different than what you might have expected. It's usually the protein test is either purple or blue. But because of the proteins and the lipids, sometimes the color of the lipid, because you notice it's kind of a yellow color and anyhow being oil, they fill that in for you because it's kind of a different color. But anyhow, that just kind of gives you an idea. You're going to go through for each test and put down what color they turn. All right. And then it's going to ask you which one didn't have any macronutrients, which one, what was the color of the Benedict's in the negative, what color was it in the positive, and you get the gist. That's kind of what it's going to do for each of the tests, just so you can see what each of the tests look like as a positive or negatives and what they look like. Then you're going to summarize your information here, what a positive or negative test would look like, and what kind of molecule are we detecting based on which one of these have changed colors that had a positive test. All right, and then you're going to do some more applied things. Okay, this part is more the information which we had studied in the lectures, but you will pick a micro molecule or large molecule that polymer would be another way to put it. Okay, that has mono and disaccharides, single sugars, or whatever, and then you would fill in. This gives you some structures, which one of these structures would fit in to that, and then what is it used for, okay? And then so forth with all the rest of these. You would just find the correct box and the correct description that fits with the other information that's on that line, all right? Then they give you specific examples, okay? For example, you're a cross-country team, you want a carbo load, so you're getting carbohydrates. So it says you make a claim about what food they should eat. So you click here, pick a food of all the different foods that are over here they're testing, okay? Then you would run a test on that food to prove that, yes, indeed, it does have that food, and you would put what test you conducted and the results from it, and you say this is a good source because it has whatever you're trying to look for, in this case carbohydrates, and that they are useful for this function, which would work for what they want, okay, or what they're looking for, in this case the runner. All right, and so you would fill that out. Now, just for the record, there are some of these that could be more than one correct answer, okay, because there may be more than one food over here that has carbohydrates or that has protein or whatever. So you're looking for the best answer. All right. Then you'll do the same thing with bananas, about ripe versus unripe bananas, what nutrients they have in them. keto diet where you want high protein and low in carbohydrates. So you would try to do tests to show foods that don't have carbohydrates. And probably the most um, trying to gain muscles, getting protein. That one's going to be the actual test is a little difficult because once again, the Biuret and the um, Sudan 4 tests are not real dramatic changes sometimes. So these last two here, that one there would be a little more difficult. But once again, we'll give you some choices here. So in case you get it wrong the first time, you can try it again. All right. Now, then once you find a food that has all the macronuclear molecules, sorry, I'm just saying polymers. I'm just saying organic nutrients. Okay, but at any rate, you want to have all of those. So you would have to test a food that has all of those. And which test did you do to prove it? Once again, the lipid and protein test are the hardest ones to tell, so you'll have to check that out. But I think you can figure that out. And we'll probably give you more than one choice on that one also, so that way you can do that. All right. Over that, pretty straightforward. These are very much like the tests we would have done in an actual lab, so very useful activity overall. Hope everything goes smooth for you, and let me know if there are any problems.